And the feeling that I bring forth, clear, uncertain, scary, exciting, and I guess unknown. And I don't just mean with technology, but technology is one protagonist in the story, and there's many other social stories playing out, from politics to relationships to all of these things. So my first question to you, Simon, is what are those things? What are the biggest forces of changes that you see happening at the moment in all of our lives that you think we should probably talk about today?
That is a big question. And I think one of the mistakes we make, and this is in general, is we like things to be very neatly organized. We like them to be black and white, yes or no, right or wrong. And as you know, the world is messier than that. It is more nuanced than that. And nothing operates in a vacuum. Everything is connected to everything, especially in a world that's filled with this rising technology called the internet and this burgeoning technology called the social media. And desires and feeling like belonging become more and more important. We're struggling to find them. Loneliness epidemic, stress epidemic, suicide epidemics. These are all feelings of disconnection, lack of control, and loneliness. And so that only exaggerates our feeling of loneliness and despair and wanting more, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you add in AI. And now those feelings of insecurity are just exaggerated like crazy, right? So now I find AI, there's an irony to AI, right? So if you go back to the 70s and 80s, right, you had the rise of robotics. And so robots are now coming into our factories, and we're able to cut employees by dramatic amounts. And we put people out on the street who they worked in a factory, their father worked in a factory, their father's father worked in a factory. Like this is what they know. And they say, but these robots are changing, they're taking our jobs. And the ruling classes and the Wall Street classes and the CEO classes, they go, yeah, I know, technology. You're gonna have to find a new skill, reskill. That's what you're gonna have to do, reskill. Okay, flash forward to AI. Here's where the irony comes in. Because the world is always, nature pours vacuum and life seeks balance at all times, right? Not always immediately, but it seeks balance at all times. It's always seeking equilibrium. Okay, so flash forward to AI. Now you hear the knowledge workers. It's the knowledge workers who are going, my job. It's the coders. It's the finance people. My job. The plumber is not worried about AI at all. The baggage handler at the airport cares zero about AI. And so maybe the right response is, it's the future, man. It's technology. Reskill, you know? Maybe become a plumber, you know? By the way, money's really good. You get to work for yourself if you want, you know? So I just find the pendulum kind of funny.
With AI, do you think it's overblown, or do you think it really is cause for concern and deeper thought?
The honest answer is, I don't know. Everybody falls on one side of the sky is not falling, chicken little, or the sky is falling and we're all gonna die, right? The truth, like most things, is probably somewhere in the middle. But the real answer is I don't know, and neither does anybody else.
Yeah.
And it seems that we should have some sort of controls, because we didn't put any controls on the internet. They did put controls on the internet in China. Like, children don't have the same access to social media like kids do here. Europe has controls on the internet, and America doesn't. And we're the ones that seem to be suffering more because of the lack of controls on the internet. So I think some, and by the way, when people, talk about deregulation and no controls, I mean, they make us wear seatbelts in our cars. Yeah. There's nothing, we have speed limits, and it's for the greater good. And yeah, sure, your seatbelt's uncomfortable, but you'll get used to it. And it's fine, So I think the call for no reform is wrong. There are correct limits to keep things safe. I am fascinated by AI, both the benefits and the weaknesses of it. But it is revealing to me something more important than what other people are talking about, which is we're a results-obsessed society, right?
Yeah.
We care about output, we care about performance, we care about numbers, we care about final product more than anything, right? And when people talk about AI, they talk about its remarkable ability to write the symphony, paint the painting, write the book, write the article, solve the problem. Like it is, and by the way, the technology is incredible. I asked it only a few months ago to please take this and put it in the style of me. And it was fine. I did it with a friend of mine who's also an author, and we both did it for ourselves. We did it on each other. It was really fun. And it was fine. I don't think it was good. It gave me a good start and I could edit it. I did it recently. We both did it. It was damn near flawless. It was scary good, right? Now, AI doesn't know the thing I'm thinking about. It doesn't know that the next book I'm going to write about is friendship. It doesn't know the point of view I'm going to have on friendship. If you ask it, what would Simon Sinek say about friendship? It's going to be why this and why that, So it's derivative, right? We know that. It's not original. We know that. But at the end of the day, the work is good. The symphony is good. The art is good. The article is good. The book is decent. Like, it's getting better and better and better. But here's the problem that we keep not talking about. People keep telling us that life is not about the destination. Life is about the journey. That's what we keep being told, right? But when we think about AI, we only think about the destination. We only think about the output. We never think about the input, right? I can tell you that, and you and I can both say the same thing, which is I am smarter, better at problem solving, more resourceful, better at pattern recognition, not because a book exists with my ideas in it, but because I wrote it. The excruciating pain of organizing ideas, putting them in a linear fashion, trying to put them in a way that other people can understand what I'm trying to get out of my brain, that excruciating journey is what made me grow. And sure, you can have an AI friend, and that AI friend has been trained like the best psychologist to affirm you, the best listening skills that exist. Tell me about your day. That sounds difficult. Boy, it's hard being you. Oh my God, it's so great being you. Have you, like, it's an affirmation machine built by a for-profit company that wants you to stay on. Can't neglect that. But for the fact that nobody's learning how to be a friend. It'll feel good. You'll feel like you have a friend, but you're not learning to be a friend, right? And it's what made you a great entrepreneur is not that the company exists, is that you built it with your hands and you've got the scars to show for it. Yeah. It was when things went wrong and you were forced to fix them and think that now, when problems show up, you're quick, you're smarter. You're a much smarter businessman now than you were 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Because you did it. And I think what we're forgetting is that there's something to be said for, and by the way, I'm a fan of AI. I want AI to make things, but I would hate to lose out on becoming a better version of me. And I think that to really learn to grow, and by the way, I used to have a steel trap for phone numbers. I knew everybody's phone number. And then all of a sudden my phone, my PDA, God, I don't need to memorize a phone number anymore. I don't know most of the people that I love. I don't know their phone numbers. I type their name in, right? I just have to know their name. And so my brain literally went on strike. It said, fine. You no longer have the capacity to remember phone numbers, and I can't remember phone numbers to save my life, right? So we give up certain skills or abilities because of technology regularly, right? That's fine. I don't have a problem with any of those things because whether I can remember a phone number or not will not affect my relationships, my ability to function in the world, or my ability to cope with stress. But my ability to know what to do when my friend is struggling, my ability to know what to do when I have a fight with my spouse or my partner, my ability to know what to do when my boss yells at me but I don't want to escalate it, or my employee is acting out and I don't want to escalate it or fire them. Well, how do I resolve this? I've missed out on those skills. And simply asking AI, how should I resolve this thing? It'll give you an answer and it may work and you've learned nothing, right? And so it's the difference between, it's like saying AI will provide boats for everyone, except for the time there's a storm and you don't know how to swim. And I'm okay, use the boat. Also learn to swim. So I think there's something to be said for writing your own symphony, painting your own painting, building your own business, writing your own book. Not for them, not for the output, for your personal growth.
Before I got here today, I was writing a post for LinkedIn, and I was trying to make the case that everybody using ChatGPT to write their emails, their social media posts, their investment pitches that I received is now making the internet feel really inauthentic, because people that I knew for many, many years are now sending me these perfect cookie cutter emails with words that I've never heard them use before.
Yeah, of course.
And so when I read it, my brain mentally discounts it as not being their opinion, not actually being them.
Yeah.
And when you feel like you're speaking to someone's AI, the meaning is gone. So I was writing this post about how actually now there's this premium on human written language. Like if you make a couple of mistakes and you use the old words, you don't use words like forged and robust. I'd like to forge a partnership with you, Stephen. Furthermore, can we? I'm like, you've never said that to me, mate. Like, so
the end dashes.
Oh my gosh,
It's funny, right?
it's crazy.
Yeah. But you're talking about what you're talking about. Have you ever heard of the Japanese concept of wabi-sabi?
No.
So wabi-sabi is a Japanese design concept, which is beauty in that which is temporary or imperfect. Okay? So have you ever seen Japanese ceramics?
Yeah.
They're wonky, or the glaze is not even.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful. You know why? Because they're handmade. Tree bark, trees. When you have a wooden bowl, wood is beautiful. Why? It's imperfect. Right? Unique. Things made on a machine are the same and less beautiful. And things made by hand are beautiful because they're imperfect. What makes people beautiful is not that we get everything right. It's that we get many things wrong. And what makes us fall in love is not the person who's perfect. It's the person who accepts our imperfections, and we know we're in love when we learn to accept theirs, not learn to want to, right? And you're 100% right. I now know in the art world, artists are being asked to sign affidavits that say, I painted this, I made this, not AI. Not because it's better or worse, it's because I want to know it was touched by human hands. And so I think you're right. What'll happen is everything will be so perfect that it'll be as if we're all driving or using things that everything came off a conveyor belt. And what we will start to desire is things that are made by hand. Because by the way, we think Rolls-Royce, Ferrari. It takes 39 months to get a Ferrari. You know why? It was made by hand. Right? And one of the things that makes it expensive is the technology and the carbon fiber and all that. But the other thing is it's slow and it was made by people.
Human error, the value of human error.
The value of human error.
Scooter Braun said to me the other day, he said, we could watch a computer play chess with another computer. He goes, but the chess games that have the highest demand are one human versus another, because when a computer plays a computer, the moves are predictable and they're the same and they're perfect. But it's the human error of two human chess players who are worse, objectively worse at chess, that makes it so fascinating.
Yes, that's any sporting event. Any sporting event. It's not the perfection of the game, it's the error that loses the game that adds the drama. And it's like trying not to make a mistake is as powerful as trying to get everything right. And it's the humanity of the sport, the humanity of the competition. It is the imperfection. And I think that we forget as people what makes us beautiful. Like when you go on a first date or a first interview, all you do is present perfection. Put on my best clothes, dressed up. And I don't dress like this every day. I dressed up on my date, right? My interview, I don't wear this. This is what I wore for my interview because I want to put out a good impression. And I practiced, and I make myself confident. I've got a great job and I've got a great personality and I love my mother and my goodness, everything's great. And then you get in the relationship, you get the job and you become a slob, right? This is what AI is. It's to your point, it's fake.
It's on the interview example, the minute you started describing that, I immediately flashed back to an interview I had last week in our company where a young kid walks in wearing a suit. And I thought, now I have no idea who you are, because I know that's not you. I know that you don't wear a suit. You're 22 years old. You do not wear a suit. So I have no indication. I have no clues as to who you are. And therefore, it's harder for me to figure out if you fit here. And I think because what he tried to do there was show up perfect, what he thought perfect was, and in some ways to hide who he actually was. Whereas this is why I like now on the internet sloppy text. I like grammatical mistakes.
But at the same time, you don't want him to show up and kick his shoes off and put his feet on the table either.
In the same way that
there's an element of respect you want, and you want somebody in a first interview to put on some effort. Now, too much effort is pretty inauthentic, but too little effort, what's that?
This is my diagram. You've got perfect
Yeah.
on one end, which is low, and then you've got poor, which is also low.
Yeah.
The sweet spot is right here in the middle.
Yeah, well, I think there's some truth to that. And so there's a level of, like it's the same thing as like we all want vulnerability in our relationships, but not on the first date.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to know that quite yet,